Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to BBA Markets Podcast here on YouTube. This is your co-host Earl.
Hello, everyone. This is your co-host Jude, and we are ready for podcast episode number three.
Yep,
Yep, that's right, episode
episode
number
number
three.
three. Episode number three.
Yes,
Yeah. So
and
hopefully you guys are all doing well. Jude and I are doing very very well. So just remember,
mm-hmm.
guys, during this podcast, this is just our own personal discussion. Everything here is not financial and investing advice. So again, always please do your own research. And yeah,
Yep,
let's just begin. Let's
definitely.
just begin. So first off, Jude,
Let's just
how are you?
begin, man. Of course.
How are
Oh,
you? How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm not
That's
gonna
great.
lie, I'm not doing phenomenal. How about you, Earl?
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm
how
doing
about you?
great. I'm doing great. It's Sunday.
You
We're
doing
just
good?
relaxing. We're making the podcast,
All
which is
right,
absolutely
look at
beautiful.
him. He's chilling. All
Yeah.
right, good. Okay, so what are we? So I think we're supposed to discuss. Yeah, guys. So what we're gonna discuss in this podcast is going to be geopolitics and the latest news that is already going out. There's some really interesting news going out there. So uh, we just want to start discussing that. So Earl, do you want to go through the news or do you want to? Yeah, you want to? I think we have
Yeah.
some interesting news come out right
Yeah,
recently.
of course. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many news coming out right now. So first off, guys, we wanted to really just talk about, you know, Elon Musk and his venture through Tesla, which is, Tesla AI,
Mm-hmm.
aka Optimus. Absolutely insane. Like look at this. It's a complete
That's insane.
robot. It's almost
I
like
don't know if I
yeah,
know
it's almost
that's
like
insane.
Boston Dynamics, but now they have a competitor which is,
But
Tesla AI. So, yeah, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Jude? What's your thoughts on this?
honestly, I'm just shocked about this revelation. Like, I mean, like, I never expected Elon Musk and like Tesla to come up with this. Like, when I saw that video the other day, I think it was Friday. They
Yeah.
launched it out, right? They
Hmm.
revealed it. I was like, what is that? Like, it's like I knew that Tesla was working on a humanoid robot. I knew
Hmm.
that, but I never expected them to do like this accuracy. Like it's like almost like a human, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like he was like dancing, he was like doing his moves and stuff. I'm like, dude, this
yeah.
is scary.
I know.
It's kind of creepy at the same time too. But then again, it's kind of the future too. Like,
Hmm.
what do you think? What were your like reaction, like first thoughts when you
Honestly,
saw it?
I thought at first like I thought it was kind of like CGI because remember like the first time
CGI?
he
Uh-huh.
announced like his robot thing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like it was just a person in a suit. So I thought this was a person in a suit as well until I saw like people lift up, the robot, and then the robot started doing like basic movements. But yeah, like so far for version one, like it is just basic movements, guys. It's just able to lift a box, do some
Uh-huh.
gardening and all that. And but here's like the little downside for first version. It's a huge step for mankind, but at the same time, it's like it's 20 grand, guys. It's around 20 grand for the robots. So I'm very interested on the reviews that should come up with this AI.
I don't know, like I don't know if you have watched the movie Chappie, but I don't know if
Chappie,
you
no, I
remember that
haven't.
Chap. Yeah, but that movie is also it reminds me when I saw that it reminded me of that movie called Chappie.
Hmm.
It was actually just very very similar the way he was created. And I was thinking what came to my mind is like right now is that maybe these robots are gonna be Elon Musk's new.
Oh, Chappie, yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. You remember that
Yeah,
one, right?
yep,
Yes,
yep, yep.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what came to my mind. Like when I see those robots, exactly, they were built for like defense. I was like thinking like maybe these guys are gonna be Elon Musk new security guards, right?
Hmm.
Elon Musk is
Yeah.
gonna have new security guards, and these guys are gonna be it. He's probably has his personal guard. He doesn't need anymore, and all those guards, like bodyguards, are gonna be like, oh no, we're gonna be out of jobs now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
uh,
It's very, very interesting on what will happen,
it is.
in the future now. But before we talk about the future, guys, another thing that's trending, on Twitter, which is of course Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank. Guys, this has been trending all over Twitter.
Oh, this is like hot
Like,
news.
yeah, this is
Like
like just
this is like hot cakes off the
mhm.
oven, you know? It's like
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
like it's flashing Lehman Brothers. Like from what we
Hmm.
know, from like just like a general overview of it, it seems like there was like some sort of mismanagement. From I believe it's like Credit Suisse. There's some mismanagement on their side. These banks are also like the top banks, at least like in the European side, right? So most of
Hmm.
these banks, it's just like okay, it's kind of questionable. Like one, why are they tanking? And then two,
It
it's
is.
like it's causing such a huge alarm that we're kind of curious on what will happen tomorrow during like the pre-market, right?
It is kind of well, pre-market is already red. I saw that. Like
Mm-hmm.
this S&P, the indices were already red. So what is like the only question is just like you said earlier, I'm pretty curious to know what is causing this really like thing. Like all of a sudden, is it because like the currencies are falling? Is it because the euro crashed against the dollar, or is it the power of the dollar that's like this Credit Suisse was because I think there was another tweet, right, about there was leverage. I saw some tweet about that they used a lot of leverage. So were they like being safe with the dollar because the euro was higher than the dollar, and then they're like, oh, now the dollar just crashed against the, I mean, the euro crashed against the dollar, and now are they like big debt? I mean, leverage debt. I don't know what's really causing, but
Yeah,
also we
here,
saw
there you go.
some recent.
So, like this again, guys. Like this is just some tweets that we found here online. Of course, this
Yeah,
isn't like 100% data, but yeah, just to follow up with Jude, like this could be it, right?
that could be it too. But there are also, as we saw earlier, there was some mismanagement too, right?
Yeah,
That was causing
exactly.
as well.
And
So
it seems to be unfolding as like months go by, and just like based on like the stock itself, it's like you have Credit Suisse 3.92, and then you
mhm.
have Deutsche Bank, which is around 7.35. So, will these
Deutsche Bank
two?
too. That's
Yeah.
also interesting.
hmm
Germany.
Yeah. So like now, like the question is, will these two banks cause the next, 0809 crisis? Some people are saying that, you know, back then in 0809, it was all, it was like the use of like credit default swaps. There's a lot more leverage and like it was a lot, again, more financial mismanagement or asset
Yeah.
mismanagement. But in this case, it just seems like I don't think they're heavily leveraged in this case. So, at the same time, like we have like the CEO, yeah, he came out and he was like, "Hey guys, like don't sound the alarm. Everyone is speculating that we're going down, but right now, no, no, no. Like liquidity is fine." But again, like, what do you think, Judik? You think
Well,
he's trying to
he's
keep
just
everyone calm?
well, he has to keep them calm because imagine if investors and all the depositors pull out money.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like a Celsius scenario. You probably remember the Celsius crypto, right? The
Mm-hmm.
crypto exchange Celsius. People are just trying to pull out money and they're just like halted all the transactions, withdrawals, and you know, as a bank, banks normally always rely on the depositors' money to run. And
Yeah.
if Credit Suisse comes to a point where their depositors all take out the money, and on top of that, they're in leverage debt, they have no other option but to get like a buyout. I mean, a payout, not a
Yeah.
buyout, a payout.
Yeah.
Either a buyout, which is being taken over by someone else,
Mm-hmm.
or a payout from the government, which is
Yeah.
the
Or
EU. That's
could you think it could also be like a bailout or something? Or do you also think it's like
bailout too.
could be some sort of like
Well,
geopolitical thing? Maybe you do you think
well,
it could be like
could
that?
be. Well, it can be a geopolitical thing, but what's
Mm-hmm.
causing that thing? That's the only thing I'm thinking about because, hey, we know the U.S. dollar is high,
Mm-hmm.
and Europe is kind of in a crisis situation as well. So I'm also thinking maybe depositors are already taking money out. That's what I was thinking. Why is it crashing? Like, why is it already in big trouble? Because are the Europeans people scared enough to take the money, I mean, to keep money in the banks now because of the crisis of how it's like crashing up?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking maybe that's what's causing it, but I'm pretty sure this is just came up. We just guys, I'm just speculating. Don't ever think that I'm saying the truth because there's more news to come out on this situation. I'm pretty sure this week we're going to be hearing a lot more about the Credit Suisse situation. So it's going to be interesting to watch because if this the only question is that if this crashes, if Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank brings down the crash in the Europe, what is going to be the global effect? How is it going to affect the global economy? Is it going to cause other banks to default too? I mean, not default, like crash as well. But
Yeah, so it's actually it's great that you mentioned that because there was like I think I just passed by the tweet. So this right here is pretty interesting actually. So you have like the whole credits. So from
mhm,
what last year, like again, credits to him. He's saying that Credit Suisse is not the only major bank whose price to book is flashing warning signals. The list below is of all global systematic international banks with price to books of under 40%. A failure of one of them is likely to call the survival of the others into question. So now this is very, very interesting, guys. Like, look at this. So he's basically saying that one collapse from one of these major banks could possibly cause, the next global
like a,
financial crisis. And as well, I believe like the credit default swaps. I'm not sure if I have any of the on the links here, but I think the credit default swaps has been very, very high as well, and that is again the next alarm. So yeah, that's just like the news for like what's been happening over Twitter. Twitter has been going like
mhm.
bonanzas like throughout this. you
Also,
know.
what I was thinking, I was thinking is
Yeah,
because remember how the Europe was actually like under a lot of pressure with the energy crisis,
yeah,
and
yeah,
a lot of businesses were like failing too. Maybe the businesses are failing to pay back their loans and all that stuff too, probably causing some issues with Credit Suisse and all these European countries or European banks, because Europe is hit hard compared to North America. So I'm thinking that could be a situation, but it is still unclear what is exactly causing the issue. I'm pretty sure they will come up with something for
yeah.
sure.
Well, hopefully they cover up something to cover up their story before anything collapses, because we don't want any of that, you know.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, so like these are
This is
just the credit default swap spreads, which is at the 14-year high. And again, look how high '08 and '09 was. So, and look, it's beginning to peak. You could say
it's
it's
going there.
double topping, but again,
Yeah.
we'll see how well they can cover the story. And again, we're very very
It'll be
curious
fun to
because
watch. Yeah, it will be
hmm
fun to watch when Europe opens. Europe
oh yeah,
markets
oh
open
yeah,
later when, well, while we were sleeping for sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, well, it will be fun to see how they open and all that stuff and how they will do through the day. So guys, watch out for this one. Keep an eye. This whole week is going to be talking about Credit Suisse. It's going to be the hot topic these days.
hmm
All right, next one.
So
Next topic.
next topic, Jude. So like, what's happening with the whole OPEC plus? They're cutting more than 1 million barrels. Is
Well,
that?
OPEC, this is also an
Mhm,
interesting story because what happened is that OPEC has no choice but to cut because
mhm,
US does not buy that much oil from OPEC, right?
mhm.
Because they
Okay.
already have their own oil from the Gulf of Mexico, which is
Mhm,
going to be which is the WTI. But then now OPEC was mostly probably supplying to Asia, but now Asia is planning to buy from oil from Russia for cheap.
mhm.
So Saudi Arabia is pretty much completely in big trouble because right now their buyers are becoming less and less because Russia is stealing their
Oh
market share.
wow. Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
because
Okay.
think about it, Asia is a big consumer, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
two biggest economies is India and China,
Mhm.
and biggest population, big consumers. Asia has a big consumer market compared to any other area in the world,
Mhm.
compared to even Europe. And I'm thinking they cut this 1 million barrels because they see a buyer reduction. There are not enough buyer, not enough countries are buying oil from them from OPEC. So I think that's what this option, because that's actually the cost of them doing that is because Russia is already selling oil to India,
Mhm.
China. So though if Russia can sell it to the two biggest economies, I mean not the biggest economies but biggest population,
Mhm.
the biggest populations in the world and the biggest consumers, who they just lost their two biggest exporters, right? I mean, the two biggest importers of oil. So I guess that's why maybe this recently we saw about Xi Jinping trying to go to Saudi Arabia for a visit. So
Oh, okay. That's
yeah, but
interesting.
still it still hasn't happened. Maybe it has happened
Mhm.
behind the mainstream media that we don't know about.
Mhm.
So we could see something happen over there. So it's gonna be interesting to see oil. Well, this news actually jumped oil prices already. The barrel of the oil.
Yeah, it's actually
It
like
already
it's
went up.
reflecting like right now 82. I believe it was like what, like 80 something like last Friday or something.
Something about it. No, it
Yeah.
was about 70 something. Yeah,
70
81,
70
70.
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there you
okay.
go. We got it right up there. $82
Yeah.
now. Crude oil. So it's going
Interesting.
up. It's jumping with the oil one. So yeah, so that's something it's interesting to watch. There's some more new news that is coming up, right? Right,
Mm-hmm.
Earl?
Yep, yep.
So is this it for our first part? Is that what we're gonna do, or
Yeah, I
and for
think
YouTube because
mhm.
we're on YouTube, right? Because YouTube has the restrictions and stuff. So I don't know what we're gonna. Is there anything else that we should talk about?
Yeah, I think you know what, guys. I think on YouTube we do have like a 15-minute cutoff. So again, we do apologize on that. But
Yes.
for if anything, if you guys love this episode, if you guys really enjoy it, make sure to
Hmm.
comment, like, and subscribe. It
Yep.
really helps out the channel, and we want feedback. We want to build a community of just people just trying to talk and what's happening with the financial markets. So yeah, guys, this is part one. We'll be
Part two
ending
is
it
coming up,
here.
right?
And
Yep.
yeah, like we'll be
We
ending it
will.
here, and then
Mhm.
make sure to check us out on part two. So follow our socials; it'll be in the description link. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time in part two. All right, take care,
Yep.
guys.
Exactly. Talk to you soon.